The movie begins with a quiet yet deeply unsettling sequence. In near silence, a figure methodically breaks stones into smaller fragments and buries them across various patches of forest floor. Their face is never shown, and they speak no words. The movements feel deliberate and ritualistic, as though they're planting something rather than hiding it. The story takes place in a near-future world ravaged by a devastating pandemic that has shattered society. Cities are unsafe, communication is fractured, and government-controlled quarantine zones have replaced what little remains of order. The wilderness, once untouched, is now heavily monitored and treacherous. We meet Martin Lowry, a scientist arriving at a remote quarantine outpost near Bristol, England. Officially, he is there to support an agricultural research initiative seeking solutions to the world's worsening food crisis. Unofficially, Martin has a personal mission to find Dr. Olivia Wendell, a fellow scientist and someone he cared for, who vanished months ago while working deep in this forest. He keeps his connection to himself. The outpost staff, isolated for months and hardened by protocol, put Martin through strict screening. He is disinfected, medically tested, and interrogated. The workers are clinical, detached, and uninterested in his true purpose. Nevertheless, he is granted clearance to enter the forest. With no vehicles allowed inside the zone, Martin must travel on foot. He is assigned Alma, a park ranger, as his guide for the 2-day trek to Olivia's last known location. Before setting out, Martin notices a haunting old painting in the outpost. It shows villagers performing strange rituals around a looming figure called Parnag Feg, a forest spirit of local legend. Alma dismisses it as folklore, an old tale meant to frighten children, yet the unsettling image lingers with Martin. Curious about Olivia's disappearance, Martin asks why she and her colleagues weren't tracked by GPS. The outpost workers explain that the dense forest interferes with communication signals, and Olivia's team had entered without a guide. People get lost here easily, they warn, and some never return. The woods are unnaturally quiet, disorienting, and rumored to affect the mind. The following morning, Martin and Alma begin their journey. Alma shares that Olivia had occasionally sent letters early in her research, but had gone completely silent 6 months ago. Martin says nothing about his personal connection to her. Their mission on paper is to study the soil's unique fertility, a potential lifeline for a starving world. As night falls, they set up camp. Martin, unaccustomed to the wild, struggles to sleep amid eerie echoes of unseen wildlife. The next day, their trek takes a darker turn when they stumble upon a scorched tent. Alma grimly recalls that a family once camped in this spot and was never seen again. The sight is a grim reminder. The forest swallows people. By the second night, their unease deepens. Without warning, bright flashing lights erupt around their camp. Disoriented and blinded, Martin and Alma are ambushed by an unseen attacker. Both are beaten unconscious, and when they awaken, their supplies are gone. Food, shoes, and equipment stripped away. The scene is methodical, not animalistic. Someone is hunting them. Injured and shaken, they continue onward with nothing but desperation. The forest grows unnervingly still. No wind, no birds, just silent. It's then they encounter a man named Zach. Soft-spoken and seemingly harmless, Zach claims he has lived in the forest for years, withdrawn from a world he calls broken. Though wary, Martin and Alma accept his hospitality, having no other choice. Zach's camp is well stocked. He tends to Martin's injured leg with surprising skill, offers them food, clean clothes, and a strange, sweet-tasting drink. But something feels wrong. Within minutes, Alma and Martin realize the drink was drugged. The man they thought was a savior is revealed as something far more dangerous. When they regain consciousness, they find themselves tied to chairs, dressed in strange handmade garments. Zach has staged eerie photographs of them posed as corpses, as though part of a ritual. He speaks calmly but chillingly, Leaving isn't an option. His cryptic ramblings grow more disturbing by the hour. He talks of a power in the forest, a force that called them here. Days blur as Zach alternates between restraint and cruelty. When Martin's infection worsens, Zach coldly announces he'll amputate his toes. With a crude axe, he hacks off 2 digits as Alma screams in horror. Martin faints from the agony. Desperate, Alma manages to free herself using a hidden blade Martin spotted earlier. She cuts Martin's restraints, and together they stage an escape. Zach catches on, and chaos erupts. Alma ambushes him, wounding him, then helps Martin flee. They split up to increase their chances of survival. Zach hunts them relentlessly. Martin stumbles through the woods, bleeding and exhausted, and spots strange lights in a microphone setup. Calling for help, he is rescued by a figure in a hazmat-like survival suit. To his shock, it's Olivia. Olivia treats Martin's injuries at her makeshift camp, and soon Alma is reunited with them. But as Martin recounts Zach's atrocities, Olivia's reaction is filled with pain and guilt. Zach, she reveals, is her husband. They had once come here together as scientists, but something they discovered shattered his mind. Months ago, they unearthed a strange black stone marked with carvings and surrounded by ancient texts. Olivia became convinced the forest itself was alive, communicating through frequencies and patterns. Zach turned to ritual and worship, losing himself in madness. Olivia stayed, consumed by her research. Her explanation rattles Martin. This isn't just science anymore. The forest is one vast network, and it's speaking to us. Alma, unnerved, warns Martin that Olivia sounds like Zach. We have to leave. She's not safe. But Olivia's words cut deep. Do you really think you chose to come here? Did it feel like something called you? Martin, stunned, admits he'd heard unexplained ringing in his ears before his journey. Their escape attempt is thwarted by a dense, toxic mist seeping through the forest. Alma volunteers to test a protective suit, but collapses in terror, claiming she saw it, a massive, sentient presence. That night, Zach returns, declaring the entity wants to speak through Martin. Olivia, now seemingly aligned with Zach's beliefs, gives Martin a dark liquid to drink, insisting this is the only way forward. Alma realizes Olivia has been documenting Zach's murders obsessively. Her research has become worship. Alma attacks Olivia and escapes, only to find Zach ready to kill Martin. In a brutal confrontation, Alma blinds Zach and kills him, but victory is hollow. The toxic mist overwhelms her. She is racked with hallucinations so intense they shatter her mind. When dawn comes, Alma is changed. Her eyes are empty yet calm. Olivia, mortally wounded, thanks her with her dying breath, as though something inside her has passed on. Now Alma carries that presence. She leads Martin out of the forest, but her voice is distant, inhuman. The story ends not with salvation, but with the chilling realization that no one leaves the forest untouched.